Hey Hero fans, this is Todd. So today we're going to talk about how to build a storage box for your action figures. Now I've built one of these boxes in the past, but I just got this new box right here. And this box is cool because it gives me more than enough headroom for the figures. So it works great for like She-Ra figures because they'll have like high hair or different things on their head. So it works great. So we have the box and we have the corrugated plastic. Now if you need to, go back and pause the video to find out what these parts are so you can order them. The box I got from Home Depot, and the corrugated plastic I got from Ace Hardware. So that's where I went. And we're going to make these 5 inches each. Now if you want, you can go 4.8 inches. Then you can get 10 out of a whole entire sheet, because the sheets are 2 feet by 4 feet, so that's 48 inches. So if you do 4.8 inches, you'll get 10. In order to make this work, you need to cut out 10 of these, so it is quite a lot of pieces. Now, my original boxes I made them a lot higher than 5 inches years ago, but I found out 5 inches works great because then you could put like the different weapons and stuff on top, like the long staffs and things like that won't fit in the actual holes. So that works really good. So when you mark these, mark them all at the same time. You don't want to mark 5, 5, 5, 5, and 5. You want to mark like 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. And go ahead and draw your lines. Now when you draw these lines, you can see I'm using a permanent marker. This permanent marker does wash off with alcohol. I do suggest you do a really good wash afterwards. Otherwise the permanent marker lines might get on the figures, and you definitely don't want the lines to get on the figures. Now I didn't want to get permanent ink all over my giant ruler here, so I made sure that I turned it on the correct side so I could wash it easy. And I also put a piece of paper down so I would not mark black ink on the carpet, because my wife would not be happy if I was to get ink on the carpet. Now I put a lot of pressure as I draw these lines so that nothing slides out of place, and so nothing bends or arcs or causes some crooked lines. So again, just a lot of pressure on it, draw a straight line all the way across. Now this piece I'm using is not the full 2 foot by 4 foot piece. This is actually my second box I'm working on this size. So I had some extra pieces left over from other boxes in the past and so on. So again, you don't want to waste this corrugated plastic. It's really handy for all kinds of stuff. So I always keep the extra sheets around that are left over from other projects. Now the corrugated plastic, it is a lot thicker than cardboard. The good part is it's a lot stronger than cardboard. So the good part is it works great for your figures, but the bad part is when it comes time for cutting it out, it is pretty hard to slice and dice this stuff up. So I have some scissors here that I'm using. These are like an industrial type scissors. Now the edge of this plastic, if you slide your fingers across it, it will cut it worse than a paper cut. So use the actual handles of the scissors to slide under the plastic and on top of the plastic on the bottom so you don't slice your fingers. Stay on the line and just make your cuts all the way along. Now you're going to want 10 of these, and pace yourself. It is kind of tough to do, and I had kind of a bump on my thumb after I was done cutting a lot of these out. So take your time, follow the line, and be safe. Don't get a giant plastic cut on your hands. Now don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me cut out all 10 of these. So what's kind of cool is that's after I was cutting these over and over again, I realized I was going to order another box from Home Depot. And so I called up Ace Hardware and said, hey, can you guys cut them for me? And they did. So these are the 10 the guy cut for me. So that was pretty cool. So these were pre-cut. I told him 4.8 inches, and he went ahead and cut them. So here's me quickly tracing the lines from the one I built earlier. Now we need 2 long pieces, 2 that is a little bit shorter, and then we need 6 that are the shortest. So you can see there I'm cutting them out. Let me slow us down so you can watch me cut one of these out all the way through. So basically every cut you're going to do has 2 cuts. So first cut it to length. You need to cut off the end so it's the right length. And then as you cut it, you're going to use 2 cuts. And the reason is you want actual room in this channel. So you got to make sure that if you just do 1 cut, all the pieces will get twisted weird, it'll be too tight in the box. The first ones I made years and years ago, back in 2008. Holy cow, that's over 10 years ago now. When the He-Man figures first came out for the classics, I only did one cut. And the plastic pieces, because of the way they were shaped, just kind of mangled all the little boxes to put the figures in. So, 2 cuts. You want to have the spine be in the middle of your cut. That way then the flaps are on both sides after you cut it out. You'll see what I mean once you get this corrugated plastic in your hands. So make sure the spine itself is in between your 2 cuts. And just cut them out. Now make sure you cut higher than halfway up on both pieces. This way then when you put them together, you'll have room for them to fit. If you don't go at least halfway or a little higher than halfway, when you go to put them together, they won't sit flat all the way down. So after you get these cut, remember 2 cuts per little open channel. You then need to turn it over and fold them back. And if you're not careful, it's really easy to get your fingers cut on this. So pull them back. You can kind of see how those spines are in there. And how I cut right where the spine is on both sides. So that rib or spine, you want to call it. And then you want to cut these tabs off on the back. And you want to leave it folded on there. That way it doesn't push down into the plastic and cut it more. So it's okay to leave that fold in there from the front piece. All right, back to the fast build. So they're all cut up now. Of course, you got to clean them really good. A lot of times they store these. Here's how they fit together once you get cut past the halfway to kind of show you how they fit together. Just like that. Now let's go ahead and put them together. And there we go. They're all in my box. Let's load the figures in there. Now, this is kind of the fun part because some figures have capes, some figures have wings, some figures have other parts. So trying to figure out where they fit best is sometimes kind of a fun thing to do. You'll notice these boxes are not always exactly the exact same size. It's hard to get them perfect. So because of that, some figures will fit in better these little opening boxes than others. And then also you can see where the handle is even a little bit shorter. So that one's a little bit smaller area. And basically you just kind of make it work, and it's kind of cool. Sometimes it's nice to cut some edges shorter on the ends to fit capes. All right, so let's put our lid on there, and this is one of those 6 lids, and there is my box. So here it is when it's completely packed. I went ahead and loaded all my figures in there. This is my go-to box. This is the box that has my favorite figures of all time that I have in here. And so this is my go-to box that I grab if I'm going to take a quick photo shoot. And there we go. There they all are. Now, to show you how this fits together, I went ahead and grabbed the first box I built, which is just all He-Man. And let me go and clean this out so I can show you how this piece fits in there. When I pulled it out, they kind of fell. So the trick is when you put these in, you need to kind of shuffle the pieces in such a way so you fold the bottoms and the tops a little bit so that they don't cut into the plastic. When I made these boxes in the past, I've had it where it actually you push down and all of a sudden it just slices through and makes the channel go all the way through, and then of course you ruin that piece and you're stuck having to get another corrugated plastic piece just to cut the fit, or use tape or some other crazy thing. There you go. And of course, like always, you just load your figures in there. So these are all my laser light He-Man customs I've made, and for those that follow my videos, you've probably seen all the different ones I made as I was making them. Now that's the original one right there. No changes to that one. And this is my New Adventures one. And then I have the optional head one they released in the 80s style, where it uses the head from Ular. All right. I just have standard He-Man figure on the end. You can toss in the weapons and stuff. So that's the cool part about this, is lots of extra room. Okay, you guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys next episode. Subscribe, share, show your friends, and I will see you next time. Thanks again.